This short documentary is an introduction in experimenting training of leaders in social organizations. The learning is derived from experiences of over 4 decades. Through the stories narrated in this documentary, various aspects of leadership appears in the minds of the viewers. Is there a connection between the personal struggle and taking a lead to address the struggles of others? How important it is to be positive, democratic, and inclusive in the leadership role, irrespective of the bitter experiences of the self? What can be the creative ways in overcoming both the personal and systemic impediments? Why training into leadership is a slow process? Why training of leadership is a challenging process, especially for those who come from the most marginalized communities? This documentary presents 4 stories, 2 of the organizations that are dedicated in training community leaders, and 2 stories about individuals who have shown a path of empowering self along with empowering others. All these 4 stories are connected with one another.
It was 1997. I and Gaigan, colleagues for 43 years, were returning from a meeting in village Ranpur. The latter was in the media limelight for having exposed the dehumanizing practice of manual scavenging, a caste-based occupation that continues to force scavengers to manually dispose of human waste even to this day.
The scavenger women did not ask for higher wages or salaries or anything. The complaint was that they wanted rooms which were, they were broken and therefore their hands were getting soiled. That cost rupees 150. And the government said, the Panchayat said that they didn't have the budget of that. That triggered off our own anger, and we decided to file a petition in the High Court.
This dehumanization also results in significant dropout of their children from schools, especially the girls. Besides, such workers have the lowest life expectancy rate and suffer from multiple health hazards. Nav Sarjan had just filed successful and first such litigation after national independence in the Gujarat High Court. As a result, Gujarat State adopted an anti-manual scavenging law and also allocated a sum of 1,500 million Indian rupees for scavenger rehabilitation. Gradually, most other Indian states followed this example. Our meeting in Ranpur that day, though, was to address a different concern. Having worked so long, we had learned that the mere presence of law did not result in justice delivery. Can we find a way to ensure that the youth do not enter such caste-based occupations? While for the first 2 hours, the scavengers lauded every argument on the earth to suggest that their engagement with scavenging can never end. They did, however, come up with 2 suggestions. Unfortunately, these suggestions were confined to selling brooms, a visible symbol of scavenging. It was at the end of 4 hours when a 17-year-old Laxmi suggested that she would sell fabric rather than clean toilets. A brilliant suggestion from Laxmi, unrelated to scavenging, was turned down by the men in the meeting while shouting at the top of their voices. They said women had no intelligence and it was a bad idea to allow women to attend such a meeting to begin with. The meeting ended abruptly. The scavenging coexisted with gender inequity. How can good ideas come from the women? Once on the road, we came up with the idea that it was important to create an institution where youth from marginalised communities can discuss and debate while introducing them to multiple new ideas of income generation which can give them both money as well as dignity. This idea resulted in the setting up of Dalit Shakti Kendra in 1999. Today, 10,712 youth have graduated from DSK, and over 6,400 of them are young women. Their employment rate has been 82.5%, and many of them have volunteered in their villages to help others fight injustice. At DSK, they are trained in both, the vocational and life skills, including the legal literacy.
In the heart of DSK, an organization committed to transforming lives, an extraordinary journey unfolds. Here, we not only empower the youth with practical skills, but also nurture their spirits, addressing the roots of poverty, injustice, and discrimination, leaving a profound impact on the human psyche. Vocational skills are the cornerstone of our mission, allowing our students to choose their path. From the artistry of dressmaking to the allure of beauty culture, the creativity of photography and video production, and the essential knowledge of basic computer literacy, we offer a wide array of courses. We also provide training in becoming electricians, crafting furniture, and preparing for a career in law enforcement. But at DSK, it's not just about acquiring practical skills, it's about the journey within. Our commitment to life skills development is as profound as our vocational training. We encourage our students to find their voices through activities like elocution competitions. In a society where public expression is often limited, this serves as a platform for them to voice their thoughts and opinions.
हम शिक्षित नहीं हैं, हमें कानून की जानकारी नहीं है। अगर कानून की जानकारी नहीं है और बेरोजगार भी है तो सोचते हैं कि क्या करें, कैसे रहेंगे, जो भी है ये हमारा भाग्य है। हम किसी से भी अगर कहते हैं तो वो लोग मजाक उड़ाएंगे, ऐसा करें। इसलिए महिलाएं ज्यादातर यही सोचती हैं कि नहीं, हम नहीं लेंगे कानून की सहायता। દર વર્ષે ભારતમાં અંદાજે 37,500 જેટલા અત્યાચારના બનાવ બનતા હોય છે અને અંદાજે 3,500 જેટલી સ્ત્રીઓ કે જે દલિત અને આદિવાસી સમાજમાંથી આવે છે તેમના પર સતત બળાત્કાર થતા હોય છે અને 750 જેટલા ખૂન યુવાનોના થતા હોય છે. જે હાલમાં પણ આટલું બધું ભારત વિકસિત હોવા છતાં પણ આવા અત્યાચાર થાય છે. તો આવું શા માટે? શું દલિત વ્યક્તિ કોઈ તેના પર અત્યાચાર થાય તો તેનો મુદ્દો તે કોઈ આગળ રજૂ કરી શકે નહીં? તો આવું શા માટે થાય છે?
Diary writing offers them a gateway to their inner selves, helping them connect with their fears, traumas, and anger that are often buried deep within. We believe in physical development for all, and our sports activities empower girls to overcome societal taboos that discourage them from playing after puberty. Reading competitions ignite a love for knowledge, encouraging our youth to broaden their horizons through the magic of books.
हमेशा से मैं भी देखते आ रही हूँ, चाहे किसी भी कास्ट के हो, लड़की और लड़का में बहुत भेदभाव होता है। अच्छा नहीं लगता, क्योंकि मैं मानती हूँ कि जो हमारे घर में मेरा भाई कर सकता है वो मैं भी कर सकती हूँ।
What an idea competition stimulates their entrepreneurial spirit, motivating them to develop innovative products and self-employment opportunities.
पर्यावरण संरक्षण हमारा कोई प्रादेशिक समस्या नहीं है, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय समस्या है। तो उससे हमको इनकम भी मिलेगी और देश के पर्यावरण की सुरक्षा भी होगी।
Essay writing on socially relevant themes encourages critical thinking, self-expression, and factual reporting.
शुरुआती में थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम तो आती है कि हम नहीं कर रहे थे, यहाँ कर रहे हैं, बहुत बुरा लग रहा है। लेकिन जब करते करते जब अपने अंदर सोचेंगे, समझेंगे कि ऐसे जब हमें इतना तकलीफ हो रहा है तो घर के महिलाओं कैसे होगा।
हम समाज में देखते थे कि भाईचारा नहीं है, तो यहाँ पर आने के बाद मेरा जो सवाल था कि आखिर ऐसा इंसान क्यों करते हैं, एक दूसरे से लड़ते हैं, भाईचारा नहीं करते हैं। तो वो यहाँ पर हमको बताया गया, समझाया गया, कानून के बारे में भी बताया गया। अब लगता है कि मेरे अंदर ऐसा इंसान जगा कि हम किसी से भी बात कर सकते बेझिझक।
In addition to these activities, we offer practical legal literacy courses, addressing issues related to caste and gender violence, land alienation, and other rights. We've even established a one-of-a-kind museum dedicated to exposing the youth to the fundamental principles of the Indian Constitution. Our students engage in public programs like Bimrudan, Sarana, and Draupadi to Draupadi protest. Untouchability, discrimination, and systemic violence against women, showcasing their commitment to social change.
करोड़पति लोग नहीं, गांव में मजदूरी करते लोग, लेकिन उनको भी लगा कि उनका भी बच्चा है अगर उसके साथ भी कल ऐसा हो सकता है, न्याय मिलना
DSK is not just an institution. It's a transformative journey that equips its students with practical skills and empowers their spirits to challenge the status quo. Together, they are creating a future free from poverty, injustice, and discrimination, one skill and one heart at a time. At DSK, change begins from within, and the impact is felt far and wide.
ऐसी बातें होते हैं जो हम किसी से शेयर नहीं कर पाते, तो हम अपनी सारी टेंशन जो भी है, दिन का पूरा कार्य होता है, वो हम डायरी में लिख सकते हैं। डायरी हमारा एक मित्र है।
मेरा सपना है कि मैं अपनी ज़िंदगी एकदम आज़ाद तरीके से जी सकूं, कोई रोक टोक ना हो।
और मैं मेरे घर पे जाके मेरी मम्मी व मेरी भाभी का घूंघट हटाना चाहती हूँ।
તેમાં કાનૂનની જાણકારી જે મને આજ લગી ક્યાંય નહોતી, પણ હવે એ DSKમાં આવ્યા પછી મળી છે।
रोज लिखना वो बहुत बड़े बात है, क्योंकि पढ़ा लिखा हम जितने करेंगे उतने बढ़ेंगे।
दलित शक्ति केंद्र एक पेड़ है, क्योंकि उसकी जो प्रशाखाएँ है वो इतनी सारी है कि उसके कारण जो व्यक्ति यहाँ ठहर जाता है उनको बहुत सारी स्किल हासिल होती है, और उनमें से मैं भी एक हूँ।
सबसे पहले तो यहाँ जाऊँगा, फिर जो अपने गांव के बच्चे हों उनको पढ़ाऊँगा, उनको शिक्षा दूँगा और एक अच्छा लीडर बनूँगा।
पहले तो मैंने ऐसा कभी कार्यक्रम किया ही नहीं, मेरे को डर भी लगता था कैसे करूँगी। फिर मतलब DSK में मैंने 2 महीने की ट्रेनिंग ली, उनके बाद जो मेरे में अंदर पावर आया है, मतलब अपने हक और अधिकार के लड़ने के लिए DSK एक मजबूत इंसान, एक लीडर की तरह तैयार किया जाता है।
Jaira Kumari was only 13 years old when, alongside her studies, she engaged in learning embroidery work to earn money for her family. She also learned cycle repairing in exchange for her free labor. She had completed grade 12 when 2 tragedies struck in her personal life. Her elder brother got married and separated from the family, depriving them of income. A little later, her father, while collecting firewood, fell from a tree and badly injured himself. Jaira and her younger brother worked hard to earn money for the family. Jaira learned tailoring and worked in a shop, even though the owner paid very little for her hard work. To add to her difficulties, Jaira was hit by a speeding truck while returning home on her cycle one day. She suffered head injuries but managed to resume her work in 2 months. She had to support her aging parents and 3 siblings.
जब 9th हुए पैसा नहीं था नाम लिखवाने, तो मेरा बड़ा वाला भाई बोला कि जाने दो, मत पढ़ो, छोड़ दो। हम कि नहीं छोड़ेंगे, जब भी मैं इंटर तक करूँगी जाए जैसे। मैं सितारा टाँगती थी, रात दिन टाँगती थी, फिर भी अपने फीस के लिए कापी किताब लिए मैंने कमा लेती थी।
Jaira was introduced to Dalit Shakti Kendra by a Dalit Foundation volunteer. Here, she saw her dream come alive. Can I start my own training center? Upon returning home, she set up her own training center to empower and provide employment opportunities for young women. At DSK, Jaira heard about Savitribai Phule, the legendary woman who defied all social and religious norms to educate girls in India alongside her husband in 1848. In her memory, Jaira named her center after Savitribai. Today, Jaira has 30 students in her class, and 75 have already graduated. They are all women who come from about 15 neighboring villages, with the farthest village being 40 kilometers away. Jaira also runs a dressmaking business. She provided financial support of rupees 50,000 to her younger brother to open a cycle repair shop. She is also training her 2 younger sisters to ensure their dignified lives. Jaira has invested rupees 150,000 to repair her home. Her personal struggles in life have only emboldened her to face the world. Owing to her family's vulnerability, the dominant caste neighbors tried to threaten and encroach on her farmland, but Jaira was far from being defeated. She used her knowledge of the law and legal procedures to take legal action against them. Her day begins at 4 in the morning. She rushes to her farm to check the irrigation for the rice crop. By 7, with a simple breakfast of bread and sprouted grams, she rides to her center on a second-hand cycle since her new cycle, worth 4,500 rupees, was stolen. A Dalit girl in a caste society has now grown to a stature where the village head invites her to unfurl the national flag on National Independence Day.
भाई ये कि मैं किसी से 1 रुपया नहीं मांगती, मेरे थोड़ा ही कमा रहे हैं या ज़्यादा कमाए, मैं उतने भरोसा करती।
Her name is Pondi, a tiny tree leaf. She is tribal. She barely studied up to class 10. In her last school, she daily walked to the school at a distance of about 3 miles. She failed in 3 subjects in her 10th grade and thought it to be the end of her education.
શિક્ષકો કેવું કરે કે ભણવા જાય ને એટલે સ્પોર્ટમાં છે એવું કરીને એમનું ધ્યાન મેં રાખી કે એમની સ્કૂલ આગળ સ્પોર્ટમાં આગળ હોવી જોઈએ એ ધ્યાન રાખી એટલે અમને પાસ કરતી એ દ્વારાથી અમે પાસ થઈ ગયા પણ અમે રમત વધાર્યા ને એટલે અમે 10મા ધોરણે પણ ફેલ થયા.
At the age of 15, she and her sister stood at a labor corner where laborers awaited to be hired for a day of construction work for a payment of rupees 200 for more than 8 hours of hard labor. Their hut was on a roadside pavement in the city, about 100 kilometers away from their home. She had worked there for about 15 days when she learnt about Dalit Shakti Kendra and joined the tailoring class. She drew attention of all at DSK as she was the first girl who insisted, much against the will of her teacher, to learn making pants. Considered to be a man course rather than petticoat, a female-considered course. She did not have the required fees for DSK, an amount of rupees 3,000, as her father permitted her to attend the training after much persuasion on the condition that the family would not pay for her cost.
દિનેશભાઈ 3 રાતો રોકાયા ને એમને સમજાયું તો પછી છેલ્લા કીધું કે તમારે જવું હોય ને તમારે પૈસે જાઓ તો એમને ત્યાં આગળ શું કહે અટકી ગયા અમે તો હું ને મારી બેન મતલબ હવે શું કરીએ જવા તો કીધું.
Immediately after her training, DSK had offered her apprenticeship where she could earn money as she also improved her vocational skills. In 2012, she gave away all her savings to her friend studying with her at DSK. The latter was married to a well-earning teacher whose family wanted her to be confined to only house chores. However, the girl rebelled and, with the financial support of her father, opened a vocational training center in her own village.
બ્લાઉઝ શીખ્યા પછી એ ડ્રેસ શીખવા માટેની મારી જોડે ફી અને કાપડનો ખર્ચો થઈ શકે એવું પોતાની જાતે નહોતું એટલે મેં પછી આવતી હતી ઘરે પણ પછી પાયલબેન હતા તો પાયલબેને કીધું કે બ્લાઉઝ શીખી છે હવે સાથે ડ્રેસ બી શીખી જા તો મેં કીધું કે મારે આવી પરિસ્થિતિ છે એટલે મારાથી ના શીખી શકાય એમ તો કે ના તું ટેન્શન ના કરીશ એનું એ હું તને મદદ કરીશ એમ એ લોકોએ મને મદદ કરી એમના દ્વારા હું ડ્રેસ પણ શીખી ગઈ પછી.
In 2013, Pondi decided to launch her long-cherished dream of setting up a vocational training center in her area. In 8 years since then, she endlessly battled a multiple of social, economic, and legal obstacles to finally build her center, which she named after Dr. Ambedkar, a name less than popular in the tribal region. Today, Pondi is proud about training and engaging about 575 young girls and boys in employment activities. She also runs other business of her own and often provides legal support to people in distress, a skill she has learned hard way through her personal struggle. While her training center was coming up, she faced immense difficulties. People refused to provide her concrete mixture machine in time, so she purchased her own machine and learned how to operate her. She purchased a unit of steel rod cutting, and to save money, she painted her own doors and windows.
The journey of leadership can be most effectively explained through the journey of a tree. In this, we find profound lessons on leadership within social organizations. The tree's wisdom unfolds before us, teaching us a fundamental truth, that for the new leadership to grow, it must shed the old leaves. Just like the older leaves gracefully descend to the ground, laden with their wealth of experience, they do not disappear. Instead, they transform into nourishing manure, fueling the tree's vitality. It's a remarkable model of self-sustained leadership. Moreover, the tree allows its hanging branches to root themselves into the ground, and soon they too grow as connected and yet independent trees. Let's break down this transformative acronym, leadership, that the tree represents. L, learn to grow and to lead. E, energize. A, articulate and communicate. D, democratize and help to develop others' confidence. E, emerge, envision and engage with all. R, respect others and be responsible. S, share your experiences, dreams, pain, and thoughts. H, harness the energy and humanize. I, to take initiative and be ingenious. P, perseverance, patience, and at peace. Now, let's delve into the leader's journey. The journey of a leader as a tree exemplifies the essence of self-sustained leadership, where every challenge faced becomes an opportunity to grow, just like the old leaves nurturing the tree. This is a story of resilience, inspiration, and unwavering commitment to a better tomorrow. Stay tuned for the wisdom that will unfold in the answers to these questions, painting a vivid portrait of leadership that transcends obstacles and adversity and emerges stronger and more profound, much like the leader as a tree.
Indu Rohit is a teacher of photography, videography, and a documentary filmmaker. She has trained over 350 youth in this field. She has video documented the history of Navsarjan, Dalit Shakti Kendra, and Dalit Foundation through about 100 documentaries. She is a singer and actor. She serves as a joint director of Dalit Shakti Kendra, which has over 10 to 700 graduates thus far.